Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
That look at me around the world, wherever you might be, to my operator and uh, my dear CEO of Safe TV Channel 2. I want to welcome you all once again to our program, and I hope that we have mended the problem of the channel not reaching the audiences. I hope that has been fixed, and whoever wasn't able to see us can now see us back again because they used to happen. Uh, Today is a beautiful day, you know. It's a wonderful day, and I say that because you woke and you saw it. First of all, you wake up this morning and you saw it was a new day. That's the first thing. Secondly, you're still here. You made it through the end of the day, and you're here, and hopefully you're not sick or you're not that sick. You know what I'm saying? Because some of you are very sick and are unable to hear anything or even see anything. But for the most part, most of you are well. And if you weren't well a week ago or 2 weeks ago, you're better today because you would have seen us and we would have administered to you, and most of you are better. So for all of you, I want to say welcome to our program, and just sit back and relax. And I'm going to share some information with you, and we're going to discuss a few things. And you don't need to be concerned. Some of you have your views about, you know, what I talk about. It's a health program, but this program encompasses many aspects of health: the physical aspect, the social aspect, the political aspect, the economical aspect, all of the aspects of your health. Because we do that because many persons are troubled by all sorts of situations, and we have to address them, you know, because it's part of what they face and it's part of what they encounter. So for those of you who are not happy when I talk about the state of our country, I feel sorry for you because you live in it, you know, and I speak reality. I'm not biased to anybody. I'm reality straight up, you know. So some of you can't deal with reality and you can't deal with honesty and straightforwardness. So you have an issue. But before we get into anything, I would like to personally extend my congratulations to President Orfanali and his cabinet, Mr. Jagdeo, and my dear friend Prime Minister, and all of the other members of the cabinet. You know, we've been in limbo for a number of months. You know, we've been in limbo for, when I say limbo, I mean we were not aware of what transpired fully, realistically, honestly, for 4 months plus. And the Guyanese people showed the world how they are, really. The average country in any hemisphere would have behaved in so many different ways that you probably would have had chaos in some instances. But we, the Guyanese people, really showed the world what it takes, what it takes to be patient, what it takes to be to be human. You know, we really were setting examples, made records, set examples, and qualified to be a nation of peace. Seriously, never mind we had some problems here and there, but overall, I've got to congratulate our people because we really showed the world that we are a peaceful nation. And we should pat ourselves on the shoulder for that. Then, in the end, with all of the hoorah that occurred over the months, the courts, the places, the people who embarrassed us, who made us feel like we don't know what we're doing, in the end, good sense prevailed and we had a transition of a new government. Listen, we must understand that we did our part as citizens, and once we did our part, it was hands off. There was nothing much that we could have done after that. We allowed, what we should have done was allow the system to work itself out and take the matters where they need to go as you're going to do now. By now you probably would have had a decision, but I guess it was lessons also that we had to learn, and maybe time was needed to do certain things. I don't know. All right. But we have a government now of very new persons, very many new persons, very young also, very qualified or very educated. It's a very I think, organized and structured body. I just wish that that these persons could have been sent to a place where they could have been trained properly in their new ventures, in their new offices. We should have something designed that way. Our ministers who don't have the experience that are being thrust into ministries now should have been given maybe a month or two of training, so that when they step into the office, they would step into the office with good knowledge. I just wish that we had some place like that that could have caused that to happen versus learning on the job, because it's not easy to run a ministry. I can really imagine the amount of work, for instance, in the health ministry. I can talk about that because I'm in that sector. I know that it will require an enormous amount of knowledge or an enormous amount of assistance from persons with knowledge to be able to come together and put together a strategy or a process that can really take care of our health system. We have a health system that I agree it's in chaos. Okay, because I actually speak with some of the folks at the Linen Hospital, and I previously being a board member myself of the hospital would have been made aware of certain things that are going on at the hospital or things that need to be done at the hospital. And I'm imagining that this is happening at all of our institutions. And indeed, we need to put things in place, mechanisms in place, where we can restructure our operations so that we can be providing a level of service which compares to any other anywhere in the world. I'm hoping that Dr. Anthony, I know him fairly well. I work along with Dr. Anthony in some instances, and I've known him for quite a few years. I like Frank. I think Frank is a perfect person to be placed there. And although he may have not been involved in that process for a little while, I think his knowledge and his ability and his mannerisms will make a difference in the outcome of what happens at hospitals. I don't know. I don't know what will happen if I am to be asked to do anything. I am open and I am not linked to anyone. But I know that we have issues, and I know that we need a good knowledge base inside of those institutions to really make a difference in turning around what is happening there in many of them. I think we need to have maybe a task force established so that we can have information coming directly from the institutions, persons in the institutions, that can help us to correct and to put in place missing links, missing type of services, missing equipment, When I say missing, lacking equipment that is not currently used. And we also need the manpower. What we need to do, in my opinion, is create incentives for retired physicians who are knowledgeable, who are not working anywhere, they're not doing anything, but they're willing to work and they can work still, to come to our countries and be placed comfortably in our institutions for a number of time. We can probably put together something like that and have these physicians come in and they live comfortable and they work along with our staff and our doctors and so to help us to make our institutions any institution that exists, like any other one that exists anywhere, to bring us to standard, to bring us to the point where we could accept almost any case and turn it around, make it better. So I don't know what the plans are for Dr. Anthony at this time as yet, but I'm going to be talking with him, I know, and we will see if he needs any assistance in any way, advice or not. I'm willing to help him to make our health facilities all across Guyana better facilities, because we need that. We need that. We don't need to wait until something happens to say, I wish we had this or wish we had that. So I want to personally congratulate all of the ministers, including the Prime Minister, Vice President, President, and all of the persons who are assigned. I mean, we're gonna have our feelings about who is doing what and all this sort of thing, and we're not gonna like or agree with everything that happens. But listen, it happened. Okay, it is done, and what we need to do now, as a people, since we were so resilient, we were so nice, we were so good, is to try to be open-minded. Open our minds instead of closing our minds. Open your mind and try to make your input, positive input, into the changes that need to happen to make you comfortable. Because that's why they're there. All of those ministers are not there to give you a hard time. They are there to try to help you to meet your needs. And that is what we need to understand. I don't care who the party is. The problem we have is that some of the ministers who get into office forget their purposes. They forget they're servants to the nation. They become haughty and they become unreachable and they become bullies and they become selfish and greedy. And this is what we hope does not happen. Let's hope it doesn't happen. I used to have numbers for people who became ministers in my phone. We used to have conversations. And when they became ministers, I never heard from them again. Never heard from them again. You know, you don't want to cut off yourself from people because it's people who got you where you are, and your purpose as a minister or a president or a prime minister is to serve the people in your country. Serve them, make them comfortable, make them feel happy being in the country that they're in. You know, make people want to come back home. Make them miss home and come back. Not create issues and attitudes, develop attitudes that make people want to leave. You know, we have a beautiful country, and it's a country that many persons would love to be in. You guys don't know. You know, cherish your country and do things to make it better. Right? So let us give the new ministers, the new government, an opportunity to fail you. Give them an opportunity to fail you. Don't fail them. You give them an opportunity to fail you before you fail them. Open your minds and don't lock yourself away because it's 4 or 5 years you're going to do it for, and I can't see that, and I can't see me doing that. I can't imagine you doing that. Trust me, they're going to be there for a while, and I have a very strong feeling that they're going to be making you pleasantly surprised in many ways. I have a very strong feeling. I don't know why. I don't know why. I really believe that they're going to do well. I think that that they're going to surprise a lot of people in the right way, and what you expect is going to happen is not going to happen. You know, for instance, Charles Ramsden Jr. I knew Charles as a young kid. I knew his father. You know, and he's Minister of Sports. I am looking forward to speaking with him about what we can do about sports and development as far as particularly football is concerned. You know, he's young, he's a sportsman himself. And I can imagine I don't want to think or talk out of turn, but I can imagine what he's going to do for our sports sector. I can imagine. I know that things are going to happen. I'm not worried about that one. As far as Frank Anthony is concerned, Dr. Anthony, I'm not worried about him either. You know, I think that Frank's going to be. He was already. I mean, he was. I worked along with Frank, and I think he was an awesome minister, and he's a very approachable guy. Some people don't know him, but he's very approachable. He's very manly. He's not haughty. You know, people think he's haughty. He's not. Well, they think I'm haughty too. You know, but not because you're serious and you're progressive and you're successful means that you're haughty. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. We're all servants. And in my meeting with these guys, if I do and when I do meet with them, I'm going to speak to them about being servants to the nation because that's what they are. You know, Mr. Jaglio, well, people have all kind of opinions about him, but I know of him too. I know of him. He never passes me nowhere, and I'm not a member of his party. He never passed me any place. I think if you get to know these people personally, you will find that they're not what you think they are. I mean, they behave somehow like all sorts of things when you look at them in the way they behave, but when you get to know them personally, you know, you'll find that they're different people. They're not as bad as you think they are. So relax, my brothers and sisters. Relax and open your minds, and let us take our concerns to them because that's who is in charge. You can't help it. Take your concerns to them and let them fail you. Let them fail you. Don't fail them before you allow them to fail you. All right. And then there's some folks in there that you know, I know some of them and what they do and how they do it and so on, and Of course, we don't know all, and then some people change when they get the positions and all that. But let's give an opportunity to develop our country with us. And they cannot develop the country. They can develop the people, and the people develop the country. Just know that. And put your guards down. You keep your guards up for COVID. Keep your guards up for coronavirus. Don't put your guards down. We got some numbers that are happening there, and I know they're sent to me, but let me see if I could find anything here that I can share with you that you don't already know. Let me see. We have, where is it? Where is it? Man. Ministry of Health seeking to build COVID-19 testing capacity. Minister Anthony confirms immediate activities to be immediate actions to be taken. Aims to get 500 COVID-19 tests done daily. That's good if that can happen. Right? This is by Delicia. Okay. Let me see what else we got here I could share with you. This is on my phone, so pardon me looking, but I can't do anything else right now. I don't have it any place else. As of the 5th of August 2020, number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Guyana have surpassed the 500 mark. Not good. Total now stands at 509. Okay. Minister has also reported that 3 more persons have recovered from COVID-19 related illnesses. Currently, there are 298 active cases in institutional isolation at various facilities across Guyana. What else? In total, 5,057 persons have been tested for the virus, with 4,548 yielding negative results, which is good. So I think that, and I do the screening here remotely every day, and this week we haven't had a single case. We're screening people every day, and we haven't found a single one in Guyana, and that's awesome. Normally I would find 1 or 2, but this week we found none. What we found was an enormous amount of STDs. Not good. Sexually transmitted diseases. I don't know if it's because people are home and they're not doing anything, and they're, maybe having more intercourse or more sex. I don't know if that's what it is, or maybe they're more promiscuous, or maybe they had these conditions and they did not know. But I'm telling you that we have to be careful in Guyana. I'm speaking to Guyanese and whoever listens, wherever they are, that these sexually transmitted diseases are not symptomatic sometimes. Sometimes they're asymptomatic. You don't know you have it. And we're finding it in people who they say they don't know they have it, and we have to believe them because that's what they're saying. Some of them say they've been tested and nothing was found. Well, we hear that all the time. But the test that we run is not one that test that is run by blood or saliva or urine or whatever. We test you from your brain and your DNA. So we see what they don't see. Okay? We find what people don't find. And I know our findings are excellent or awesome, 96% guaranteed accurate in the world. So when we find something, my friends, it's there. Don't doubt it. Right? Especially when you're having problems and you can't figure out what your problem is and where it's coming from. And you go all over the place. And then you come to us and we find things wrong with you. Some of you say, it can't be. Nothing can't be wrong with me. Yeah, how kind of thing you say. But yet still you're sick as a dog. Some of you don't even make it. But yet still you doubt that all of these things are wrong with you. Anyway, let me not expound on that too much, because some of you may get in trouble because your spouse wonders if either male or female, how come I don't have anybody outside and I have this problem now, right? I don't know. I can't answer that. Maybe it was there and it was never found until now. We have cases actually where conditions were present and people didn't know. So it's not unusual that that happens, right? But we're finding an enormous amount of STDs. We're not finding too many HIVs. HIV cases are not very popular. But gonorrhea, syphilis, and chlamydia, and trichomonas, plenty. Some people are born with it because it's passed on. Very rare. But many of you are picking it up from people who got it. And you're giving it to people who never had it. And you don't even know you have it, some of you. You know? I'm speaking to the women today and now. If you're having a discharge, a vaginal discharge, that is not your menstruation, that is not your ovulation, or it is not your orgasm, and you're having that every day, and you go to a doctor, and the doctor says it's normal for you, you look at the doctor, say thank you, and find another one who knows what's going on with you. Because if it's not any of those three, it's not normal. And the vagina does not have to clean itself. That's what they tell you. They tell you that the vagina is cleaning itself of what? If the vagina cleans itself on a daily basis, as a result of a discharge, which sometimes have an odor, then the men should have a discharge that tell them that they clean themselves too. They should. If you're having a discharge with an odor, especially smelly, green, yellow, or pink, for heaven's sake, get help. Something is going on. Something is eroding inside of you. And if it's smelly, it's probably gone very far. Call the number on your screen, get an appointment, and get yourself looked at. I'm telling you, it's not normal. And some of you men, especially you with multiple partners, do the same thing because you got conditions and you don't know. And you're passing it on to the women. And you may be doing it unconsciously. You don't know you're doing it. Women, don't give yourselves away until you have some document from a man, legitimate document, that says he's clean. And not all labs will give you a good document either because they don't pick up nothing, hardly if you don't have some type of a symptom. They're not looking for that. The parameters are set too high on the machines. They can't pick it up. Some of you also are loaded with worms, parasites, destroying your system. Parasites in your nose, in your eyes, in your stomach, in your colon, even in your vagina. Parasites, worms. You don't even know they're there. We find so many of them every day. Every single day we find them. And you don't know they're there. We have to start being more careful and concerned and more thorough in our investigations. Or else we're going to have a very sick nation. Come on. Many of you also are having narrowing of the arteries of your blood vessels, arteries and blood vessels, by what we call arteriosclerosis. Plaque buildup, fats, salts, MSG, monosodium glutamate, throw it out of your cupboard. It is no good. It is dangerous. It's a chemical. It will kill you. It's also hidden in the cubes. Check it. It's disguised in many of your seasonings. And some of you don't care. You know it's bad, but yet still you're using it. And then when you get sick, you run into the doctor for help. I say to you, my friends, it is time for you to take charge of your health. And it should begin from the cradle up. Stop buying the junk foods in the stores and giving your children. Put healthy things in their lunch kits. Make your juices. Put less sugar. Put more fruits. I know it's hard because you don't have refrigeration systems in the institutions that they go to, and you may put something in a container and it spoils. It's a problem. We need to provide containers that can hold things at least for 4 hours. We gotta get there. Prepare more natural foods at home, or even send a bottle of water with the child and let them know that this is only for you while you're out there. When you come home, you're gonna get your juice. Stop creating patience from babies. When you give your child junk food to carry to school, or you give them money to buy junk foods at school, what you're doing is that you're preparing a young corpse. You're preparing a child that will end up with either hypertension or diabetes or something. Stop it. Don't be lazy anymore. Many of you parents are lazy. You prefer to give the child $20 or $100 and say, go buy you a snack when you get to school. No, prepare something at home. Start baking your cookies and make sandwiches and make your buns and make your, make something so that the child can have a good breakfast in the morning. You give him a good breakfast in the morning. Don't give him breakfast to walk to school. Give him something to walk to school for a snack, so that when they come home, they can eat their lunch or their dinner. Give them a healthy snack to take to school. Let them have a good, healthy breakfast in the morning before they leave for school. You can't want a child to go to school on an empty stomach and bring you back an A+. It's not going to happen. We have so much that we could learn and so much that we need to do, to change what's happening in our society, in our lives. Many of you adults don't know the last day you had yourself checked. When is the last time you had your blood pressure or blood sugar checked? When's the last time? Ask yourself that question. When last did you have it done? You can't tell. When is the last time you took a walk for exercise? When is the last time? You don't even know if you ever started. You don't have to go to the gym, you can do it in your own backyard or front yard or veranda. You can get a jump rope, you can do push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks. You can do so many things without having to go to gym. And for heaven's sake, stop eating late and going to bed. Eat light at night. Eat heavy in the morning. Midday, I normally say you eat like a queen or a king in the morning. You eat like a prince at the midday and a pauper at night. Don't eat much at night. And we have fruits in season. Use the fruits, dehydrate them, do anything to keep them and make sure that the kids can take them to school and enjoy them. Make healthy things, make healthy snacks. You can do it. Grow your own garden. My friend is telling me this morning how when she cook her bora, it tastes so sweet she can't believe it. She grew it in her own yard. Yes, I have friends who are freezing what they grew because it's so much that they reaped. What have you done for 4 months? What have you done? What have you done that you can show that it made a difference in your life? For 4 months you're home doing nothing. What have you done? Some of you didn't do nothing. Some of you just watch television and just laugh and talk and gamble and do nonsense. Some of you were taking on the state of the country more than anything else, and you can't do nothing about it. Some of you thrive on so much negative that it affects you mentally. You can't function because you're so negative. We have to learn to be a nation of positiveness. Everything is not going to be positive, but you turn lemon into lemonade. We're also finding many persons with gallstones. Gallstones. And we find the gallstones and they're being told that they have kidney stones. What's going on? A kidney stone is different from a gallstone. A kidney stone, it says what it means and it means what it says. A kidney stone is in your kidney. A gallstone is in your gallbladder. You cannot have a kidney stone in your gallbladder or a gallstone in your kidney. It's either you have a kidney stone in your kidney or a gallstone in your gallbladder. I don't know what nonsense you're being told out there. I don't know. Do you know why you have gallstones in the first place? Or do you know why you have kidney stones? Instead of sitting on your butt doing nothing, get your phone and Google it. How do I get kidney stones? What causes kidney stones? How do I get gallstones? What causes gallstones? I can tell you, but you need to do it. Learn it. And then you will see what you do that's causing it. You want to fry everything. You want to eat all the mangoes and all the fish that you can find. That's why you're infested with worms and you have so much uric acid in your blood. And it's crystallizing and forming stones. And your fat that you're frying every day, all day, is causing you to have gallstones. Gallstones come from fats. Kidney stones come from acid. Crystallizing in your blood. Don't wonder. Don't look at me and wonder. Think about what you're doing to your own life. Think of how you are destroying your life. Some of you are digging your graves with your teeth and eating yourselves into your graves. Some of you are so overweight you don't know how you got there. You tell me, Doc, I don't even know how I gained the weight. I didn't realize I was gaining the weight. How could you not realize you're gaining weight? You're watching yourself in the mirror every day, you're bathing every day. You must be realizing that you're rubbing your hands on more body than normal. Don't tell me you don't know. And then when you put on your clothes, you realize it's tight and it's not fitting the same way it used to fit. Come on, people. Come on, my friends. Take charge of your lives. Do it. Please. It is better to have a hospital that's empty with healthy people than full of sick people. Let the hospital be a place that you go through because you want to get a checkup. You want to make sure everything is okay. Let it be that. I prefer to see my hospital with 100 people every day coming in and going out the doors than 10 people in the bed all day, all night, all week, all month. I prefer that. Let it be that you're taking responsibility to make sure you're healthy. Some of you tell me that doc, I can't do without this or I can't do without that. You're giving me a diet that's gonna kill me. It's you killing yourself. You're eating the foods that are killing you. Because you're frying everything, you like a cannibal eating meat all day and night, all kind of flesh. Not that you don't want to eat, I'm saying don't eat flesh, but some of you tell yourself you can't do without it. Day and night. You don't think your organs need rest? You don't think your organs need a chance to detoxify themselves? You don't think they need to recover? When you beat them up all day, all night, with all sorts of things, how do you expect them to last long? It don't happen. It don't happen. Some of you forgot the art of cooking. Everything you need got to come from the fast food store. Really sad. We need to spend more time learning how to take care of ourselves. It begins in your kitchen, in your cupboards, in your pots, and your pans. It begins with you. Serious. And then you want to give the baby soda, sweet drink, soft drink, whatever you call it. The baby you want to give that to. What is in that anyway? Tell me what kind of nutrients you get out of a soda, as we call it, or a sweet drink. What nutrition you get out of that? Nothing. Full of color and sugar and artificial ingredients. That's what you get. You have a country that's loaded with fruits. All the seasons something bears. Become creative in your kitchen. Extract the juice from the fruit. Make your drinks. I don't know about you, but I love my fruits. And I love to be in a garden where I could see how my pak choy is growing and my lettuce and my tomatoes and my cucumbers and my pumpkin and my, that is therapy. For me, that is therapy. That is therapy when I can go down in the garden and I can watch one day a little pumpkin. And then I go back 2 days later, there's a big pumpkin. You want to, how in the world a pumpkin gets so big in 2 days? Without fertilizer. Not with fertilizer, without fertilizer. I believe that I'm going to start, when I go back, a competition on gardening. I'm going to start a gardening competition in each region. And we're going to give awards to the most successful garden planted and grew and grown and produced naturally. We will know. Because I know when I have a natural head of lettuce, it stays on my cupboard top for days without going withered. And when I take one with fertilizer, within hours it starts crying. It's running. It's falling asleep. It was propped up by the steroids and by the chemicals. Don't tell me you can't grow without chemicals. I see it happening all the time. Yes, I see it. Some of it I show you is happening. I can tell you where to go to find it. Yes. So, my friends, good, healthy life begins with you. And it's not too late. For some of you, maybe your cells and your organs are pretty far gone. But for most of you, it's not too late. It's not too late to turn around and do the right things. And listen, throw away the aluminum pots. Don't cook with aluminum cookware. It's not good for you. You're picking up a lot of the oxide, the chemicals in the aluminum, and you're eating it, and you're drinking it, and it's destroying you. It is. We find so much chemicals in people, it's amazing. We find metals, heavy metals. We find mercury, lead, cadmium. All those things we find in people. When we screen you, we check for it. And we find it. Some of you are forgetful. Your memories are gone. You don't know what's going on. Why? Your brain is loaded with lead and mercury. And for those of you who smoke, and those of you who eat a lot of barbecue, there's something called cadmium. Cadmium is very dangerous. You check it. Cadmium is something that comes from smoke. Those of you who love your barbecue chicken and barbecue fish and barbecue this and barbecue that, you're playing with danger. Some of you, your brains are so clogged up, you wonder why. It's the tar from smoke. It's the lead from paint and from different sources. It's the mercury from seafood. You know, the older you get, the less animal you should use, the less flesh you should use. Yes, because the older you get, the less your organs are able to provide for you because they've been working for so long every day. They too need a rest. Your heart, your kidney, your liver, your gallbladder, your spleen, you know, they need a rest too. Fasting. We're going to talk about some fasting at some point. Some of you need fasting. Fasting can actually save your life. And some of you don't drink any water hardly. You don't. And listen, when I was growing up, I know my mother did it, and she told us that we need to drink things that are hot. She did that because of what she was told. When you use your hot food on your hot tea and your hot pepper, you are actually destroying your inside. Yes. Some of you have some bad smelling breath, and you're wondering why. Some of you, when you pass gas, you wonder if the toilet septic tank open up. It smells so disgusting. You wonder why. But listen, what comes out of you is a direct result of what is inside of you. Yes, if it's coming out of your mouth, it's coming out of your stomach. Sometimes even below that. If it's coming out through your backside, it's coming from your colon. It's what's in there that's coming out. And some of it, when it happens, you can't stick around. You're panting for fresh air. It smells so obnoxious. It's because something inside of you is dead. And if you keep eating the dead, you're going to keep passing the dead. And I have a little bit of news for you. Contrary to what you're told, do your research properly. You cannot get life from anything dead. No. Decomposition begins at the time of death. Yes. Decomposition begins at the time of death. Let's use an example. The fisherman goes to sea, and he's out there for 2 weeks. Maybe let's say it's 7 days. I don't want to make it seem so bad. Let's say he's at sea for 7 days. The first day he goes out, he throws the net out there, and they haul in some fish. Some nice big snapper and some trout and whatever. Let us say they pull in a couple of salmon. The moment those fish go on ice and they close their eye and stop breathing, decomposition begins. The body begins to decompose. I don't care how much ice you put on it. There's no more oxygen going in there. And once there's no oxygen, there's decomposition. Decomposition begins at the time of death. Yes. So that fish that is picked, that is caught, and in the ice box the first day is in the ice box. As long as they keep fishing and catching, that fish keeps being buried by other fish on top of it in the ice box. And if that trawler stays at sea for 7 days, that is 7 days of decomposition in that particular fish. That is why some people want to buy the first set of fish that come on the boat, because they know it's the last set that was caught. Yes. So when you eat fish, you're eating something dead. You're not going to eat it alive. Some people say they eat sushi. I can't imagine eating raw fish. No, man. That's for cannibals. What are you getting from it? You think you're getting something good from it, but you're not. You want to get the good stuff, eat your greens and your veggies. A lot of good stuff there. But you want to make sure that the source of your veggies is a good source. Let it be organic. Grow it yourself, or get it from someone who's growing it without chemicals. Yes. And we have some of the best vegetables and fruits and provision in Guyana. Some of the best. When I tell some people about the things that we have in Guyana, they would like to catch a plane and go there the next day.